Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another video. I know it's kind of been a while, but here is a new review. This is the Marvel GamerVerse, the Avengers video game. These are the basic figures, so this is, you know, like a $10 figure. This is Ms. Marvel. It says advanced there. I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's in reference to the video game. The video game should have been out by now, but again, it's been delayed until September. But these action figures are starting to hit Target. Now I found the 2-packs and the single packs. So the 2-packs, there was an Iron Man with Taskmaster and Hulk with Abomination. As far as the single packs, there's a Captain America, a Thor, an Iron Man, and the Ms. Marvel. And to me, they all look like trash, except actually this Marvel actually looks pretty good. Thor, I think, is just not a good design. The figure looks really bad. Taskmaster looks like a cheap dollar store version of the Spider-Man PS4 Taskmaster. So I'm just not a fan of the designs that the game is using for a lot of these different characters. Hopefully the game will be nice. I have it on pre-order, so you know, we'll see how it goes. But let's get to the figure. It's going to be a comparison with the Legends version, and that's really why I only bought this, because I think it looks pretty good and I want to see how it compares to this one, because we know Hasbro went a little bit of a cheap route with this by basically redoing the same one that they gave us, giving us new boots. But as you can see, like from in the package, there's all kinds of differences in the design. So we get a lot of reds and blues on the legs and the arms, whereas these are just all red. So the basic figure looks like it had a little bit more effort into the design, not the figure itself, because we're talking completely different quality figure, but we'll get to it. So it's got an interesting design. You can see here on the back of the package we have our Avengers team, their GamerVerse, all the other good stuff, and then we get this interesting hexagon design package. But let's get it opened and do a comparison and review. Okay, so here is Ms. Marvel Kamala Khan out of the package, and these basic figures have actually come a long way. So Hasbro, I think, has really been testing out what they could do as far as the kid-friendly budget line, the basic figures. So they've had 3 3/4 inch. They've gone a few different scales. They did their microverse figures, but I think they finally settled on this scale. So they're considered 6-inch figures, but they're probably more of like a 5-inch scale, as you can see next to the Legends. It's actually about the same size, but it's just one of those things. So like the Abomination figure in that 2-pack of Hulk is going to be like a third of the size of the Build-A-Figure, so it's not to scale. They're just basically 6-inch type across the board. So some interesting things I would have liked to have seen, because there's all this stuff about the game and microtransactions. It would have been nice if there would have been some kind of game code included, but there isn't. We just get this little hexagon insert with the Avengers logo. I thought that was pretty cool, so I pulled that out. There's no other accessories or anything like that, but the figure itself has come a long way from what they used to do. Hasbro used to do basic 5 points of articulation for these figures, just like the 12-inch Titan Heroes figures. They've added some more things to it, so it's pretty interesting. So we're actually going to do the articulation right away and just kind of get it out of the way. So you can get the arm to go up that high. You get full rotation in there. The head is on a ball joint. There's no hinge or anything like that, so you're not going to really get any movement. So you get some kind of pivot, but you can twist it around, things like that. We get a single jointed elbow, which gives us a solid 90 degrees, as you can see there. There's also a swivel at that elbow. There is no wrist articulation or anything, and the arms are kind of rubbery, and I don't know if that's because of her power set or if that's because of the material that they use for the arm. So without having purchased other figures, unfortunately, I'm not going to know. It looks like there might be a waist swivel in here, but there is not. However, that is a cut there just so they can have this rubber skirt piece on her. Now the cool thing is they added this articulation to these basic figures, so she can do the full splits like so, which is cool, because before all you could do is move them forward that much, and that dress doesn't actually hinder too bad, but you can't really go back. There is a swivel at the knee, and it is a single jointed knee, whereas I think the first ones didn't even have the hinge at the knee. It was basically just the straight leg that moves up and out, and that's it. We don't get a lot of bend in there, but we do get some, and there's no ankle articulation whatsoever. So standing, she just kind of has to stand there, and sometimes you have to kind of bend the knee for it to stand up straight, but even then sometimes it looks a little weird. So extremely limited articulation. However, it is improved upon what Hasbro used to do. I wasn't expecting a whole lot in a $10 figure, but I am actually impressed compared to what they were. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of that articulation. But let's zoom in close to take a look at this figure, because I think it actually looks pretty good. Okay, so taking a close look up at the Ms. Marvel figure, what I really like, and I think this is how it's gonna go, but the design of this costume, I think in the game there's gonna be several different stages, right? She has her her street outfit, and then I think it's gonna kind of transition into this outfit here, and then I think kind of towards the end of the game she's gonna have her full-on hero costume, is what I think is gonna happen. I have absolutely no clue, but based on what I've seen in the trailers and pics and things like that have been released, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but we shall see. But the figure really hits the mark as far as how her costume is going to look in the game. So we get these blue stripes on her legs, on her arm we get this padded kind of shoulder piece, the gauntlet piece on her forearm, we get that blue piece there along with the gold bracelets. So the design of it is really nice. We get actually some textured detail on her dress. The scarf is a little bit shorter, and there's no painted detail on there like this one did there on the Legends version. But looking at the dress, you could see it's just a huge improvement, believe it or not, over the design. And I'm specifically talking about design, not quality of figure, but design. The lightning bolt there is a more prominent gold, and it's larger and really stands out. So I wish the Legends version would have given us a little bit more effort instead of basically redoing the comic version, because, you know, looking the missing detail of the legs and the arms is just kind of unfortunate. And then the head sculpt looks pretty good, and from what I can tell, the head sculpt is actually basically the same. The hair kind of has the same flow to it. The difference is going to be like the quality of plastic. So it has less detail, but it's basically the same, if that makes sense. The face looks about the same size. I actually popped them off. You can't switch them out, but the head will pop off. But it's basically the same, and I think it's just kind of in whatever the molds that they use. If they use the same mold, but just either a different quality plastic or kind of that molding process, it just doesn't capture the details nearly as much. But looking at the hair, you can see it's basically the exact same. So, you know, the head sculpts, they do something very similar. It's just, you know, the quality just isn't quite up to par with Legends. Okay, so here's the side-by-side shot, and you can see kind of how they look. Now, obviously with these type of figures, they have more time to really fine-tune things, whereas Legends needs a lot more time to be able to get the designs and the sculpts and everything ready for Legends. So obviously, of course, these basic figures, we see it a lot of times where it's more accurate to like the movies and things like that. So it's just one of those things. Now, I wish like the Spider-Man PS4 game would have gotten this kind of attention to the video game. Avengers is getting, you know, Marvel Legends, they're getting the basic figures, all these different things. The Spider-Man PS4 got, what, one Legends figure at first, and then got, you know, a 2-pack with Mr. Negative and Spider-Man in the 3 3/4 inch. Why didn't we get, like, basic figures and things like that? I think that would have been awesome. I don't know if they anticipated the popularity of the game or whatever it was, but we should have gotten more stuff for that game. Hopefully we'll see some stuff with Miles Morales game, or with the Spider-Man, the sequel game. Hopefully they put some attention into that as well. But side by side, you can see just the so much greater detail in the basic figure. Just quality is not the same. I can't stress that enough. Quality of the basic figure is not as good as the Legends figure. Looking at accessories, she comes with one enlarged fist for her right hand, and basically the way it fits on there is you just pop her arm right into there to kind of make it look like it has kind of that enlarging effect. So you have to just kind of pop her hand right into there, and you can see it just fits like so. So then it looks like, you know, she's enlarging her hand to give a good punch. So that's kind of interesting, a little bit of a different way of popping out the forearm at the elbow to do like with the Legends figure. So we'll pop that off and pop this one on. And of course the Legends figure actually came with 2 enlarged hands, one for the right, one for the left. And as you can see there of how they look, this one's actually larger than the Legends version. So I'm curious to see if basically you can use the Legends arm, use this accessory, and if the Legends hand will fit in there. And it does, as you can see, it fits like so. So you can get it on there, and then you get some of that detail. So depending on the shot, if you wanted a little bit of a larger hand, you could do that as long as you're kind of hiding that. So that could work, but then we get that blue padded gauntlet piece there, which is not present on the other arm, but you know, it's something that you could do. Okay, and so my final thoughts to close out the video. For $10, it's not a bad figure. It definitely works as a good substitute or stand-in in your GamerVerse display if you choose not to get the Legends version, which I hear a lot of people did from based on comments and things that I see on YouTube and Instagram. So this one for $10, you pay half the price. And it could really work. You got the added details, but I do again want to stress quality is not the same as a Legends figure. This is a decent figure, yes, but it's not the same as a Legends figure. So I really want to make sure you guys understand that. But for $10, pretty good. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of it. If you guys like the video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.